My last video, I mentioned things about, catching old behavior patterns. Like, there's so many. But for example, like checking your temperature, heart rate, blood pressure. I did all three, right? And I would do them in different places. I had my thermometer in my car at the time. My car, the bathroom, and beside my bed. And I would also check, my heart rate and all these things in secret because I didn't want anybody to know. Because they started seeing me do it everywhere, right? I'd be like watching TV, like. So during this journey, and I mentioned being aware of all behavior patterns is huge. Because if you're not aware and if you don't change them, you can't recover because you're still reinforcing the old program of survival. Because life threw you curveballs, you got sucked into it, and you survived through it, and you kept sending the response to survival. So this is your new program, right? The survival program. But eventually, we need to get out of it and back into ease, back to, bring the baseline down, back to standby, right? We got to start emptying those allostatic loads by feeling our emotions and letting the brain send us whatever it wants to send us on a silver platter. It'll send you everything that you need to work on. And we'll feel it as we go, right? Old traumas, old feelings, old emotions are just going to pop up, show their ugly face, and you'll feel them. Do your thing as you go without having to dig. No digging involved in this. I like it simple. But that's not all. That's not the only reason why we're in a survival state. A lot of things can put you in this survival state. That's why we have the allostatic loads, right? And they can get full with all the shit that's happened to your life and all the emotions that you suppressed. All of a sudden, you're starting to pull 747s. Your phone storage is too full. You got too many pictures of pussycats and rainbows, right? So it starts to work slow, right? It starts to buffer and work slowly, right? Something's got to give. Body keeps the score. Symptoms manifest in the body, right? Because you suppress so much that it can't do anything. It's trying. It can at least keep you alive, right? It's doing that. Thank goodness, right? But that's not all. We still got a baseline that's in survival because of life's curveballs. Like maybe you took too many medications, dealing with you were in survival in a toxic relationship or at work. You're always surviving at work, right? You had surgery. Maybe you had surgery 5 times. You're on antibiotics 10 times. There's all kinds of reasons, mentally and physically, that brings your baseline back up to survival, right? When normally it should be at 0, you're at 1,000 constantly, and it's stuck there. The brain created neural pathways, and there you are. And when your allostatic loads are full with suppressed emotions or whatever you want, whatever you want to call it, all the bullshit that you did throughout your life, right? That brings the baseline up, right? When normally what's supposed to happen is you're at 0. You see a bear, right? It goes to 1,000. It's there to make sure we either fight or flee, fight it, kill it, eat it, run away from it. We gotta make a call now, urgently now. So the brain is doing its job because there's real danger, right? So after you kill the bear or you run away from the bear and you escape, the baseline goes back to 0, back to standby, right? Alarms are set. It's like, okay, surveillance system is back to reset. We're good. Right? That's the way it's supposed to work, and that takes 20 minutes? Right? That's quick. But what happens if over the years you keep getting these bears coming into your life, real bears? It's always at 1,000 because there's real bears, right? Life situations, right? We can call them bears. So life curveballs, toxic relationships every day, every minute, for years and years and years. Toxic work environment. You're an alcoholic. You're a smoker for how many years, right? You're a hard party animal. You eat like shit. Like anything and everything, right, that you did throughout the years. You took antibiotics or, a couple of drops here and there, and you took it times 10. So, right, all these things start to add up, your allostatic loads. Emotions are suppressed. Baseline starts to go up, right? You start to be in a survival state because life throws you curveballs, the people that you're around, your environment, right? You actually had bears in your life. So then all these things together And it's not just only emotions or trauma, right? That's a piece of it. You might be a person that didn't suppress their emotions that much, but is still in survival, right? That's just a piece of it, right? And then add in all the other bullshit in your life. And here we are, right? Bunch of symptoms. You're ill, you're sick, you're still alive. You get all these symptoms, you're going crazy. So our goal is to bring the baseline back down to standby. Back down to 0. It's at 1,000, right? It's hardwired there. That's the new program. Our job is to update the software back to ease instead of dis-ease, right? To ease. So how do we do that? Well, a bunch of things. We got to do a bunch of things, right? To bring the we got to bring the allostatic loads down because that affects the baseline, right? And one of the big pillars in my program that I focus on, because it was tough for me, is to be aware of behavior patterns. And I mentioned that in my last video. I could do a series of this shit, technically, because it's such a big subject, right? So your body checking, right? I went through the list. I'm going to put the link here of the video. And one of the big things that you should stop doing, because, you got to stop checking your heart rate, your blood pressure, your temperature, right? But one of the big things you got to stop doing, and trust me, this will help, because every time, this is what happens. When you look for reassurance, when you investigate, when you look in Google, when you're in these Facebook groups, these toxic Facebook groups, right? Every time you're in them, and somebody talks about something that sabotages your journey, or if you're investigating, figuring out, researching, analyzing, that brings your baseline up, right? When you're doing the work, you're doing the visuals, you're in a good routine, and as soon as you start to Google a symptom, you just allowed and let in, you opened the door and you let in 20 tigers. And the brain, what's it going to do? It's going to do what it's supposed to do. It's going to keep you alive. It's there to protect you. And the alarm systems are going to ring, your baseline goes back up to 1,000, symptoms manifest, here we go. Horseshit, right? And this is what I had to do. I had to stop going to the hospital 3 times a week, right? Stop using my pendulum. I had a pendulum everywhere, and I used them like 50 times a day. And I used to make them, I still keep them, right? I got this, it's a homemade pendulum. I use this maybe once a week, right? But not for survival, just because I'm curious, because I want to manifest and create my life, whatever, right? But things like pendulums, using, being in Facebook groups, looking for reassurance, being a reassurance junkie, right? Going down these rabbit holes, having like 5 different coaches, doing 20 different programs, checking your temperature, your heart rate, and your blood pressure. But another one that I had to stop doing was looking in the toilet. Stop, please, just do this. Trust me. Because every time you look in the toilet while you're doing the work, it's like you're just fucking starting from scratch. You're actually going minus. Right? It's like, oh my God, I'm finally getting somewhere. Yeah, I'm in a routine. This is so good. My baseline's coming down. Activation, it's coming down. It's finally rest and digest. Fucking right. We're working. We're doing it. The brain's got no choice but to change, right? Because we're consistent. The brain's going to change. I'm going to recover, right? And then what do? You open the door and you say, tigers in, bears in now, right? And all these bears come in. They're like, they're hanging off on your head. They don't eat you, but they're about to. And the brain's like, holy fuck, baseline goes to 1,000. Here we go. Every time you look in the toilet, that's what happens. Even, this is the interesting part. When you're in a survival state, the brain will convince you of shit that's not really there. You will hear things that aren't really happening. You will see things that aren't really there. And you will smell things that aren't really there. And you will feel things on your skin that aren't really there. Right? Phantom noises. You see phantom things. You smell phantom things. And you feel phantom sensations. For me, it was droplets of water, numbness, coldness, heat. My hearing. I swear I heard somebody say my name, or I heard somebody say something that they didn't, or I swear I saw something here that wasn't there, or I saw blood in my stool that wasn't there. I swear I looked, there was nothing there. I flushed, my brain goes, no, there was blood. Remember, there was blood. And it fucked with me, right? You smell phantom smells that bring you back to a place that was traumatizing, right? So when these things happen, when you're in a state of fight or flight, they happen, you're really sensitive. They can just spark up, and the brain will lie to you. So even if you see, right, you slipped up one day, took a dump felt, you're looking for reassurance because you're obsessed, you're a junkie, a reassurance junkie. You're like, I'm gonna look, I need to have a good day. Please tell me that went away, that food sensitivity, that issue that I had. I was bleeding in my poop for 3 weeks, and it's been driving me fucking crazy. Right? Please give me a break, please. And you look in the toilet, looks fine. You flush, the brain goes, no, there was blood there. That little corner nugget of the poop, where that peanut is, where that piece of corn is, next to the corn in the Parmesan, blood. Did I eat beets? Yes, okay, you ate beets. Okay, we're good. Wait a minute. That's not good enough. It doesn't matter. You can try to look for all the reassurance in the world. It's not ever going to be good enough. Ever. 3 seconds later, it's like, yes, I had beets, and I forgot that I was not going to eat beets. I was going to avoid beets because of this fucking reason. Because I see fucking red fucking stools and red water and shit. But I know I ate beets, and I'm looking, and, I see redness, and it's still not, I'm going to freak out. Or, I didn't eat beets. There's nothing wrong with my poop. Nothing at all. It looks good. Everything's great. But my brain convinced me after I flushed, of course, because the evidence is gone, that I had blood there. And you can't go, I need to look just to make sure. Oh no, I have no answers. Fuck. I gotta wait till the next poop. Fuck, when am I gonna poop again? Not till tomorrow. I'm gonna fucking suffer for a whole fucking 24 hours until my next poop, until I gotta make sure that there's no fucking blood in there. Right? So you're freaking out, and of course you don't poop the next day. Because you have constipation. Right? Because your bowels are, because you're in a state of fight or flight. Everything's dry. Everything's, your poop's fucking, it's like a brick inside of your gut. It's just sitting there. So it doesn't matter if your poop's nice or not nice or whatever's in there. As soon as you flush, the brain will convince you that there was something wrong with your poop, and you will catastrophize and bring that baseline up. Ruminate. Your whole week's fucked. From the Monday that you looked at your poop, your week's fucked. You just let in 20 tigers, right? And you're being stuck in your journey. Your baseline actually went up a bit, right? You did all this work to bring the baseline up to 1,020. Like, what the fuck? Let me tell you, I seen all kinds of things in the toilet. All kinds of, I was fucking, so traumatized by my shit. First of all, it was the fucking, oh my God, I think you got parasites. There's these worms, these special type of worms, right? And if you, that's in your poop. That's how you can tell. Like, all the of course, Western medicine was not giving me the answers, so I run across the street and I hit up fucking, functional medicine, and they do the tests on you. They tell you you got a candida problem. You need to do the candida kill protocol. Fucking candida, right? Waste of time. Supplements made me feel worse. All kinds of weird shit in my poop, right? See, it's working now. No, that's a sign that it's working. Yeah, right. Right. I had all kinds of poop. I had all kinds of things in my toilet bowl. Right. I had like jellyfish that were in my toilet, in my shit. Right. I'd have my poop, and I'd have these white blobs, right, in there, like they look like jellyfish. And then I had undigested olives and undigested foods that were there. It's like this olive was like newer than it was when it was hanging off the tree. Like that, my body didn't even fucking try to digest it. Nothing. It was just like it just fell through my colon. Just went, ta-da! Right? It's just like, in all its glory, it's like nothing. You didn't touch me. Fuck. I went through your colon. I fell through, right? Like a hot dog going through a fucking hallway. So I would see blood. I would see jellyfish, white shit. I would convince myself that I saw fucking parasites and worms. What else is there? Undigested foods was in there, right? And yes, believe it or not, yeah, I know. I check my poop every fucking time. And I'm gonna fucking say it. I know what you're thinking. Did I? What did I do? What did I do? Yes, I did. Put some gloves on. I went through my fucking poop. When you're desperate, you do some fucking crazy shit. You try some crazy things. Some crazy protocols. Because, we're not crazy. We just want to get better. So we have to investigate and figure this shit out. Literally, figure this shit out. So you start looking for parasites and worms, and you convince yourself that you saw some. And you're like, why is my poop all fatty? I don't know. Am I digesting properly? Am I absorbing nutrients? Then you go down these rabbit holes, right? And you're searching through your poop, and you're just adding gasoline to the fire. Your baseline is like fucking past 1,000, right? It's like a rocket leaving planet Earth. You're in such a survival. You're making survival jealous, right? You're making crocodiles and lions and bears go, wow, this guy is in survival. This guy is next level. I've never seen this guy is. And then you get the diarrhea. You get the hard poops, right? And I came to a point where my pelvic floor was so tight, and my rectum was so tight that I had to put my fingers in a finger cot with coconut oil and help my anus, open my anus up so that the poop would slide out. So then, of course, you look at the poop and you investigate. You're looking at your poop all the toilet all the time. So you got to make the choice. Oh, that's gross. Oh, fuck. I could talk about poop all the time, but the point is, you got to be aware of old behavior patterns, and there's some things you just got to stop. Right? You got to talk about symptoms. You got to stop going down these Facebook groups and Googling, talking to Sally about symptoms, of course, right? And stop looking in the toilet. Stop checking your vitals, right? You just got to stop. There's no trick to it. There's no, building indifference. You just have to fucking stop. Okay, things that, like a pendulum, I tried to stop, and I went from 50 times a day to once a day to once a week, right? Eventually it was like once a month, right? Crutches. Using crutches all the time because what they do is you're desperately looking for a sign of safety and reassurance that the danger will go away one day, which reaffirms that you're in the danger. So the brain goes, oh, he's in danger. Let's put the alarms on. If you're looking for safety, that must mean you're in the danger, right? Doesn't that make sense? So with digestive problems, I know it's long, drawn out. It's scary. It manifests all kinds of crazy things visually in the toilet, plus pain. Pain here, pain here, pain here, pain here. Yes, even pain here. Rotten fucking smelly farts. Like even a peep. Like even a all the rooms are fucked. Like if you're walking from one room to another and you go, you just contaminated 2 rooms. Like it's so fucking toxic, the stink. It's so intense. It's so concentrated. Like it's so much poop. The smell is so deep. It's fucking gross. People will be like, ah. And you know how we like our own brand? Even we're like, holy fuck. Like I like it, but it's like too intense, too concentrated. Like what the fuck is going on down there, right? The stabbing pains. See, this is happening to you. The physical body is doing this. You're seeing it with your eyes. You're seeing this, like, it's right. It's happening to you in real 3D life. And then your thoughts are fucking driving you crazy. The what if thoughts, the catastrophizing, and they tag team. You're fucked. right? It's really hard to move forward when these guys tag team. Plus, don't forget we got 70 symptoms. So it's tag teaming all these symptoms. But mostly, for me, it was gut issues, poop, food sensitivities. So it's like I was relighting my fire constantly every day I had like supplies of gasoline out the ass. I had a bonfire constantly ripping and roaring. Right? I was the one that was fueling it. And this is how people get stuck. You got to be aware of it and just stop that shit. Stop looking in the toilet. Trust me, stop. Tell yourself, I'm not going to look in the toilet for another year. Yes, it's avoidance. You know, you're doing avoidance. But it pays off because you're going to finally allow the baseline to calm down. It's only temporary, right? In a year, you can do exposure and start looking at the toilet again so that you're free and able to do that. But in the meantime, take a little bit off your plate, right? Don't open the door and let all these ligers in, right? You're just sabotaging yourself, and you're delaying your journey, and you're not really learning much from this shit, right? I think it's important. The reason why things took me 3 years is because you make delays, you learn something from the delays, right? You fall on your face, eventually you build leverage. But if you're doing something and nothing's improving, then you got to make those changes. Be aware of the old behavior patterns, and like me, make a list. Even go, should I check the toilet? Should I be doing body checking? Should I be checking my heart rate? Right? Should I be reaffirming the labels that were given to me? All the research that I did, shouldn't I put it on the shelf and maybe stop saying these things? That maybe that I'm broken, I have an injury, I'm special, right? That, well, because of my T cells are fucked up or my mitochondria. I think it's, you convinced yourself because all the research that you did, yeah, you have a problem with your mitochondria. So you keep saying that in every conversation. Well, yeah, but I'm feeling, no, but the thing is, the situation, no, but the thing is my mitochondria, right? It's not allowing me to digest properly, and it's affecting my biome. See, the mitochondria affects the biome and the blood-brain barrier, and that's why my candida is out of control. See? So you tell yourself these things because you research them and you identify as them. They become your label and your core beliefs. This is why you have to be aware of old behavior patterns. Stop doing them. So you stop sending a message of danger while you're in the danger, so that you can eventually send a message of safety while you're in the danger, and start bringing that baseline down. Get into the program of ease, lead in with that new program, allow the old program to die out by itself by not giving it any more attention, allowing it, but letting it do its thing and focusing on the new program. And the core beliefs will update and change by their own. You don't have to do anything about them, right? Symptoms start to finally go away because your only job is to update the software. Work with your brain, the programming in your brain. Update that software. Don't biohack all the parts of your body. Don't micromanage the parts of your body, your biome, your liver, right? Your kidneys. If you're creating neural pathways, that's not your job. That's your brain and your body. It knows what to do. Get out of the way. Don't micromanage it. You will never know anything about your biome. It's not, don't be fucking micromanaging it and try to no. Your only job is to update the program to ease, get the fuck out of the way, and let your brain and body serve you and do it for you. That's what it's designed to do. And it will do that. You just gotta get the fuck out of the way. And don't look in the toilet. Because there's all kinds of crazy shit in there. It'll just traumatize you. And you're not gonna move anywhere. You're gonna be stuck. We don't wanna be stuck. We wanna have girthy, healthy, creamy, beautiful shits that fill up the toilet where you gotta flush twice. Right? That's what we want. And if you wanna get there, and be proud of your shits, don't look at the toilet while you're in the survival state. Just for the time being. Once you recover, you can look all you want.